All right, there is a story going around right now that I just have to talk about. Need to talk about it because I think it's important. Some drama going around this Allison that went missing in California. Now, because this is a young girl, I don't want to show her picture but a few times. So, just a quick update. The Department of Investigations launched a missing persons investigation on July 16th at approximately 9:30 p.m. for a 15-year-old Allison. Allison, like many children in America, are in between parents going through a separation or a divorce. Some parents try to handle it in a way that the kid is not affected by it. Not much, anyways. Then you have other parents that will manipulate the situation just to get revenge at the other parent. And I think this is what this case is. And the only way that I can describe this case, and you may not agree, is if you followed the Lori Vallow case and how Lori manipulated people into believing that she was a victim while she herself hurt her own children. Her ex-husband tried to tell people that something wasn't all right and that she needed a mental health exam. He was concerned about his life and the children. Turns out he's dead, and so are the two children. When she went missing, the mother came out and she was crying and devastated, put together search efforts, went out of her way to try to find her daughter. Whereas her father, too, did try to search for her, was more about painting the picture and releasing things to make mom look bad. His major concern was not his daughter missing, but, what the mom was doing to her. Whether we don't know if that's true, but it seems to me it most likely isn't. And the way that she went missing threw up red flags. That's one of the reasons I didn't want to cover it, because something didn't seem right. Now, Allison left her residence on that day around 5:30 p.m. on the 200 block of North Avenue and Monterey Park. And video clearly captures her leaving the area. She was supposed to be going to her aunt's house, but police discovered later on that she went the wrong direction, if that's the case. As a few days passed by, there was a few sightings of her, and it was no denial that most likely it was Allison riding her bike around. Meanwhile, there's GoFundMe's going up. They were launching all kinds of search efforts in order to find Allison. And I think it got bigger than they expected. There was a collaboration with local, county, state, and federal agencies to locate Allison. Now, Allison's father, Mr. Chao, and his family, they were not working with Allison's mother. That was a concern to me. They were all doing their own separate search efforts. This told you that there was some intense dislike for someone between those two. Most cases, when children go missing, the parents put down their, problems, their arguments, to work together to find the child. So the mother, I noticed, didn't try to make drama out of this. She was just concerned about finding her daughter. But there was a lot of allegations, a lot of finger pointing coming from dad's side. He was even sharing videos where he said he wasn't allowed to touch his daughter and make her go with the police for a mental health evaluation requested by mom. It wasn't hard to see that Mr. Chao was going entirely out of his way to manipulate the situation and bring a lot of hate towards Allison's mother. And it was working. They even accused her of abusing Allison. It made you wonder why Mr. Chao would do the things that he's doing right now. Why would he put the child through so much pain in order to make himself look better and to keep Allison under his care? Was he truly caring about the well-being of his daughter? Allison's face was plastered everywhere. The media definitely did their job, along with YouTube creators. So Allison must have known how serious things were getting. Around July 23rd, on a Tuesday, the missing girl shows up at a TV station, and it appeared that there was no foul play involved in her disappearance, that she had, just disappeared and was safe. Mr. Chao has an attorney during this whole process. And interestingly, he described his daughter as a very intelligent person. She's a godly person with a very good heart. Now, a woman was actually walking with Allison. She spoke to Allison, and I'll go over a little bit of that in a little bit. She gives her a little bit of information that Allison tells her that she felt very unheard. At this point, it's not a missing person, it's more of a runaway, at least at this time, as far as we know. After Allison was located and considered safe and healthy, she is given to the Department of Children and Family Services, and I'm glad they did not return her to the parents. Jumping back a bit, guess what happened before Allison went missing? Well, it seemed that Allison's mom was going to get the full custody of Allison. It was shortly after that that Allison disappeared. Rumors spread like wildfire that Allison's mother was arrested, and immediately the world started blaming Allison's mother for all the problems. I don't think they realized, especially the father, how far this would go, especially, spreading basically nationwide in this country. So he had to sit there in front of the nation and continue this charade. And the world is starting to see, at least some of us believe that the mom's abusive. Some of us got to see, how manipulative this man could be. It wasn't long, and there was a true arrest. And that arrest was Jeffrey Chao, the father of Allison. Suspicion of child abduction, suspicion of conspiracy, even falsifying information to the police and investigators. It seemed that Jeffrey was throwing his ex, Anne Chao, under a bus and rolling over her endlessly. Well, here's another clue as to how Allison's mom felt about everything that was happening. And it only helped me understand that my intuition was correct, that Mr. Chao was a very dangerous and manipulative individual. It seemed that Allison and Annie both are in danger. She says, I believe that Jeff coached Allison to make false accusations against me, and he continues to do these things. She says he just undermines her relationship with Allison. Before their separation, I had a close and loving relationship with Allison. So that makes sense. He's not happy that he and mom are separated at all. And he doesn't want mom to have Allison and her care. He shows the signs of a very manipulative, dangerous man. I've seen these warnings before in other cases, and hopefully the courts listen before it's too late, before any deaths happen. See, Miss Chao also had to get a restraining order against Mr. Chao. So there's more going on with this that they're starting to figure out than we're going to ever know. There's some very serious concerns with Mr. Chao, in my opinion, and hopefully they're able to find out the truth. Maybe cancel both parents, try to limit access to dad. Don't send these families money. Don't do it. Just don't. Anyways, you can kind of see on Mr. Chao's face here, he knows that reality's fixing to crash down around him and on him. And I don't think he realized, how bad it was going to get. But now he's behind bars. It seems that investigators are looking into this case deep. And I think that's what they need to do. Find the truth and protect that child. Share your thoughts below. You don't have to agree with me. Do you think Mom is a threat or dad is a threat, and why. Anyways, just know that you got to get evidence to support your thoughts. We live in a world where you can't trust what people say. They have to prove it. I hope the most important thing is that Allison finds comfort, security, and is safe. No parent should put their child through what Allison is going through. Too bad we're not going to get more information on, how the investigators come to the conclusion that Chao had something to do with her abduction. This case really got to me. I mean, I was really upset and I was hoping that they would find out the truth. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to press like, subscribe, say hello, and don't forget to share one of our missing girls' faces in your social media today. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon.